Hi everyone, Tasha here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to create a super easy card using items from the Hedgehog Hollows July subscription kit. Here are two examples of cards that I made earlier using the technique we're going to be doing today. We're going to be having a foiled sentiment and then a two-toned colored background. And again, this is really easy to do since we're just using one stamp but multiple colors. And you see how pretty it is when that foil and then the colors in the background. These look like they took a lot of time, but they take no time at all to create. I'm going to be using the Where the Wildflowers Grow ephemera set, and this is a toner ephemera set, so you can foil it. And then I'll be using the Mega Floral Background stamp. And here are some examples of different combinations I tried out. When you move the stamp around too, you get totally different looks. So a large stamp set is just, or a large stamp is just really fun to use with multiple colors. And do you see the pretty floral design? It's so neat because when you move it around, the paper looks totally different when you stamp it. The colors I'm using today is from Color Hive, and I'm using Vegas Strip, which is a really pretty shade of blue, and then Flamingo, which is a shade of pink. And then together we'll get a nice purple tone. The paper colors I'm using are this really pretty, like a Welsh dragon. It's a teal color, white cardstock, and then a strip of black scrap paper. I'm going to start by doing my stamping. I'm using my Misty tool for this, which is great for large stamps, and I'm just going to position my paper in the center. I used a little bit of glue runner just to hold the paper in place since I didn't want it to wiggle, knowing that it's going to take me a couple tries to get the stamped impression the way I want it. I'm starting with Flamingo, so the pink color, and I'm going along the top portion of the stamp. I wasn't sure exactly where it would hit when I was pressing it on my paper, but I kind of just eyed it up and it was pretty close to being that whole top part. I'm using the Maker Forte Smusher tool just to help me with even pressure. For larger stamp sets, it's good to have a tool like this. This way you can go over all that area without putting a lot of pressure on your hand. This tool is really helpful, and I do suggest it if you do have issues with getting even pressure. I cleaned off my stamp and then I went in with that Vegas Strip color. I went over all of that pink area as well, which gave me a really pretty deep purple shade. And I just love how these colors kind of blend and go, into each other to create a totally different color combination. And I like how this center design is it's just such a cool design. And it's so easy to do. And every time you stamp, if you move your paper around, you'll get a totally different look. So once I was done stamping, I just took it off my Misty tool and then I decided it was time to pick out my sentiment. Now again, for these sentiments included in the set, you can use them as is with the black on white, or you can foil them like I did on mine, which I will show you in a second. You also have these included toner sheets that are the same thing, or they cut the same size as these words. So then you can take that extra foil and put it onto the plain toner sheet so you're not wasting anything. And again, it's a totally different look. So I used rainbow foil on this greeting, and do you see how pretty it looks? It shines so nice when the light hits it. And then for the sentiment I'm using today, I used the same rainbow foil. And I'm just going to put it on white paper, and hopefully the camera picks it up. It's kind of hard to see foil on camera or in film, like on a photo. But it has such a pretty color combination, and it's really pretty when you add it to projects. Now I'm just going to attach my layers. So I'm using glue runner, and then I'm just going to attach it to this piece of cardstock. It's from Maker Forte. It's called Welsh Dragon. It's a really deep teal color, and I find that it kind of goes with everything. It's a great color to have in your collection. And then for some sparkle, I'm adding this purple, super glittery piece of cardstock. I thought it would bring out those colors that I used in the stamping, and this shine is just so pretty again with that teal color, but do you see how it picks up the pink, the blue, and then the purple? It's a great shade of glitter, and I thought it really added something to this card. So once I was done with that, it was time to add that little black strip of paper. I cut it to the same size as the center card. This way it kind of resembled if you were having maybe a ribbon piece or a card that piece that went around the whole card. It kind of resembles that. So I just cut it down to the same size, and I'm using foam tape to attach that greeting or that sentiment. It's pretty skinny, so I just cut a little tiny piece of foam tape and then cut it into 3 different little strips. This way you're not wasting much and it fits perfectly in there. You don't have to have a long strip either. Just make sure you have both ends and then the center. So I'm taking off that foam and I'm going to put it right in the center on top of that black strip. And it's just going to, be raised up a little bit. And I think it adds just such a pretty detail. And again, we did foil that. I foiled it off camera this time, but it just had so much sparkle. And then lastly, I'm going to use some liquid adhesive and add some crown jewels just to the center of these 3 flowers. You can add jewels or enamel dots or some little pops of color if you want to, just to these centers. But since there was 3 flowers that had that center opening, I thought a little tiny rhinestone would look so pretty. And I love, again, all the extra sparkle and shine. So I'm using this little picker tool from Maker Forte, which makes it really easy to position these little rhinestones. These are also, or this tool is also great to use with sequins. It's a game changer and makes things really easy and fast to position on your cards and projects. And then once everything was done, I'm just using some glue runner again to attach it to a heavyweight card base. I just have a piece of white paper, and then I just cut it down to size. And I did cut it the same size as that back layer, so it was really easy to line up for the tutorial. And here's my completed card, and here are the cards I made earlier. And they're all different sizes. Today's card was a standard A2 size card, but I did make the larger one with the blue and the purple, and then I made a square example with the pink and the purple. I hope you enjoyed today's project, and I'll have all the information below. Have a great day. Bye-bye.